This is the Faders Up Podcast.
Cadence Pack.
Last topic we got here is Melodyne 5 came out this week as well, which to me has been a really big update because I use Melodyne. I don't use Melodyne that much, but this update, I went ahead and purchased it day one when I saw what it can do. And normally Melodyne updates, they come out with a new version. I look at it and I'm like, I don't need that. Or that's not doing anything that I need right now. And I just wait. And Celemony will eventually send me an offer to upgrade for like $49. And then that's when I'll upgrade to the new version. But this one, with all the new features they've added in there, the sibilance detection, the fade tool, sound editor, the amplitude, they got new amplitude tools in here. It's just really taking editing to another level than you kind of look at Melodyne as just pitch correction. Like it's so much more than that now. Chord tracks, they've got, if you're using the chord track in Studio One, you can basically import that chord track to Melodyne. Melodyne will pick up that same chord track from Studio One and follow along. Anyone checked out what the new Melodyne 5 can do?
I know for me, I've been using Melodyne for some years now, and I love it. I love it. It saved me a lot of time, and it's I have like this special powers. I can make people sound a whole lot better, but I use it more. I use it more. Use it more than on vocals. I use it to fix bass notes sometimes. I use it to fix anything that I can in there. And then when I got put on Studio One, well, I was using Melodyne when it was just a plug-in. I was in Logic at that time. And then when I found out that Studio One had the ability to like somehow integrate it within the actual DAW, I was like, okay, that's really cool. Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
Who's playing music?
Not me.
Might have got inspired.
Right.
You know who it is.
Like we see your computer like right there.
How can you see my computer?
Oh, I thought it was Elib who was making that noise.
It probably was. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like coming through my headphones, so I'm sorry.
Threw everybody off.
Man, it was real. Like you was talking, you just heard dirt.
Yeah, I thought that was the the music when someone's talking too long when they're giving a speech. I was like, okay, well maybe that's my time.
Nah, if that
You need
music,
that though.
if that music was playing, I wouldn't be the one playing it. One of these
It would be me.
haters right here would
It would be me.
Nah, ain't
And we ignored it for like, me and Pat ignored it for as long as we could.
So I thought it was good. Like I thought nobody heard it because I don't have my speakers on, so that means you was hearing the bleed from my headphones.
It sounded like it was coming direct into me.
Right.
Yeah, I think if someone else pulled up a DAW and just tittled around, we'd hear it. Oh, maybe that'd be a cool thing to do one day.
Did I repeat my answer?
Yeah.
Playing music.
Go ahead.
All right, carry on. My fault, y'all.
Jeopardy music for Rick when he started talking.
It was, anybody else use Melodyne?
Nah, I feel about Melodyne the same way I feel about Ableton, right? It's one of those programs where I hear great things about it. I see the potential. I've just never committed to the learning curve. Like I just got Autotune like 2 full weeks ago. So I'm kind of committing to that right now.
I've always preferred Melodyne to Autotune just because I can see what I'm doing. Um, it's visually I like it better. Uh, just prefer.
Yeah.
Chaos, what do you use for pitch correction?
I use Autotune because, and I'm kind of in between, like between Uzar and O'Shea, where it's like I see it and I do like how it looks. I like the video you sent us. It looks very appealing. Um, but I've just been trained on Autotune. Like I've just been using Autotune for a long time, and I've gotten really good at it. So to now switch up and go to Melodyne, but the problem with Autotune, it is not as visually appealing when you use the graph, because you can tune either with like the keyboard and the knobs, or you can use the actual graph to affect the pitch of each waveform. I've done it both ways, and both ways are very I don't know. I just feel like it could be better. So that would be my reason to try to switch over to Melodyne. But I've just been faithful to Autotune because I just know it better.
I will say that now, if I don't, how do I put it? I think that Melodyne and Autotune has kind of been seen as the same. With really now, I feel like Melodyne is the editing that you can do in Melodyne you can't do in Autotune. And I will say, if I'm going for pitch correction, I use Melodyne, but I don't use Melodyne for like that Autotune effect. You can achieve it in Melodyne, but that's not what I use Melodyne for.
Right. That's what I was going to mention next. I the key point, the major reason why I use Melodyne is because it provides a natural tune. Like I can change a flat, a sharp, singer singing, and they off a few notes. I can change and correct their tune, their pitch, or whatever, and it sounds natural. It doesn't sound tuned. It sounds as though that they meant to sing it that way. So like I like that Melodyne has they have that in their algorithm where they can do that. And I play with other pitch correctors, and they always sound like foreign, it sounds like it's being pitched.
Mhm.
So, but with Melodyne, and like I was saying earlier, I use it on bass. I use it on anything I can fix, and it sounds natural, as close to natural as possible.
Yeah, and I when with new in Melodyne 5, they got the sibilance detection where sibilance is seen differently than the note, so and you can lower just the S's or sibilant sounds, F's, T's. It'd really be nice if they did plosives. I have to run a plosive through there and see what that looks like, but just being able to turn down just the S's is really nice. And with the amplitude, you can turn up softer sung notes as well, which would really just make it easier on your compressor. I think maybe we've all been through a de-esser where the de-esser does 90% of the work as far as taming the S's, but you still got a couple S's that just really jump out. And now with Melodyne, you can take just those S's that are really jumping out and bring those down as well. So I'm really excited to use it on some on some vocals, especially the sibilance part, because that's part of getting a good vocal or mixing a good vocal. To me, a lot is dealing with those S's that are just a pain in the ass a lot of times, especially on those really bright microphones.
Word. And I think with what's been said here and just everything else I've seen about Melodyne, I think I might go ahead and look into it, see if they have a free trial version and try it, because what Elib said before, like you can only use Autotune so much to correct before it starts sounding like a robot. And
Right.
and there are times where I have to just leave, like I can't even mess with this vocal. Like I know it's wrong. I know this word is out of tune, but if I try to fix it, it'll sound worse. And I'm just like, okay, what am I supposed to do? So
Hey,
I
when
might
those
be making the switch.
Something else that I do, like if if I'm going for that auto tune effect, the T-Pain effect or whatever, I will use because sometimes the vocalist will be they'll hit a note far enough where they hit the wrong note inside of the auto tune or the and I can go in and disengage a note or whatever, but a lot of times if I do that, I disengage a note that's within that scale.
Mm.
And so the next time that that artist hit that note that I need them to hit, I didn't disengage it just because I was trying to fix this one note that they didn't went off way over somewhere else, So I will pull a Melodyne and correct their note, and then auto tune will follow that, and I'm able to sometimes I'll use it in conjunction with with each other.
Yeah. That's like a dude that engineered at the record shop here in the Nashville area. This dude named John, man. He's a wizard with it. Like he uses them together, and like he'll have the vocal sounding perfect in like 10 minutes. And I'm just like, yo, teach me ways, man, because it's intimidating, like to see how quick he does it, man. But when you perfect your craft, man, it looks easy.
And speaking of pitch correction, I battled with getting auto, and I still don't have auto tune. I will eventually, but because my mastering
He
engineer,
said
he
that
was
so reluctantly.
because I figured that I downloaded all three of the waves tune trying to get the same effect because I'm like, with waves it's like $29. So I'm like, if I can get that same effect without getting auto tune, and I didn't like the waves one, and my mastering engineer was like, man, if you want that auto tune effect, you have to get auto tune. Like just go forward and do it.